So let us start our second video lecture for this syllabus. So in the first video I have explained about Fermat's principle, the introductory facts about Fermat's principle and how is it represented mathematically. Now we are going to move into the next part, that is the application of Fermat's principle. So the first application that we are going to do is a proof of laws of reflection of light using Fermat's principle, as you can see in the screen. Now the notes for this part has already been shared in the Google Classroom. So before attending this lecture, you can take that note into consideration. So for that proof, we need to draw a can say a ray diagram. Suppose we have an point object A. Okay, so ray of light is coming out of it in all the direction. We will particularly consider this ray. Okay, and just pardon me for the ray of light not being the straight line as I used to do in a board. So but you consider it as a straight line. So suppose that A is coming like that and falling on the mirror. Let me name it as MN, and it bounces back like this. Okay, and it goes to the point B. So the ray of light coming out of A and moving to B, you can see in the diagram. Now what is our job? To prove the law of reflection, first of all we have to determine the path of the ray of light from A to B. So you see that this path that I have shown, suppose it is going through the point P. Okay, and surprisingly what happens, I think I will make this diagram little smaller. Okay, because I don't think it is we can handle this much big. Let me fine. So I will draw it like this so that we can adjust it in within the same diagram. Okay, so it is going like this, A to B, A to B, and this is the mirror, and we will name it as MN. Let this point throw so P. Okay, so this is one of the paths. Okay, then another path may be like this also, na? Another path may be like this also, nobody knows. This is also one of the probable path, so it is Q. That is, so we have two paths. So we have one path that is A P B, and we have another path A Q B. So Q is simply a nearby point, okay, to P. Now first of all we will prioritize APB and we will see what happens with APB. Now you see that that means to prove the laws of reflection, we need to prove that we need to find that path from A to B for which the path length, or for which the time taken is time for which the minimum time taken is minimum. That means the path length is the minimum. All right. So since the path would lie completely in a homogeneous medium, so you see we are talking about the same medium, we are talking about this medium, isn't it? So this is a homogeneous medium. So homogeneous medium means the refractive index is same on in all the places, doesn't change. So we need to consider only the distance. You see, if you remember that the condition for Fermat's principle is this, let me write it. Del n ds is equal to 0. So since here refractive index is a homogeneous medium, refractive index is constant, n equal to constant, so n will come out of the integration, so it will be simply a. So this is okay, so that is, this is nothing but a total distance. So we need to minimize the total distance. We are not worried about n because it will go out. So next step will be del integration ds is equal to 0. So this part, the total length, should be minimized, isn't it? So that means we are not worried about n because n is constant, so n is out of integration. So this is a Fermat's mathematical representation for Fermat's principle. So Since this medium is homogeneous, so we need to concentrate only on the path length. So we need to minimize the path length. Okay. So for that step, what we will be doing, we will consider a normal. Okay. So what we will be doing here, we will drop a normal from here, from A, on the plan Mn and at the point R, and we will drop it in such a way that we will just imaginary draw it backwards. Okay, and we will draw it in such a way that AR becomes equal to AR dash. Keep this in mind. Okay, so since these two are equal, sorry, there is a wrong, this is not AR dash, this is A dash R. Okay, and that means this is the first thing. So let us consider these two triangles. Suppose if we consider the triangle ARP and triangle A dash RP, what happens? AR equal to A dash R. Similarly, RP equal to RP. So what is the only option left? AP is equal to A dash P. A dash P. So that means if AR equal to A dash R, AP equal to A dash P. Okay. Now you see, if we do the same thing here for the triangle A, so it will be AQR and A dash QR. So similarly, for triangle AQR and triangle A dash QR, again you see AR is equal to A dash R, so RQ equal to RQ. So what will happen? AQ is equal to A dash Q. So we have AQ equal to A dash Q. Alright, so that is also coming from this concept. Okay. Now next step is that now what happens, thus we need to minimize. So when we say that the path is what? APB. So if you want to make it minimum, that means AP plus PB should be minimum. Let me take you to the diagram again. So that we have a path A, we have a path APB. So total path APB means AP plus PB. Okay, so AP plus PB, but here what did you get? AP is equal to A dash P. AP is equal to A dash P. So nothing but A dash P plus PB should be minimum. Okay, let me check what is A dash P plus PB. So we need to check what is A dash P plus PB. We want to make it what? Minimum. Okay, so A dash P plus PB. So this is nothing but the whole path. Okay, now you can see that A dash P plus PB means this length will be minimum only when this is a what? This is a straight line. You can understand. This is a straight line, that only you can expect AP plus PB to be minimum. So this will be minimum only when A dash PB is a straight line. Okay, so thus what happens now? Let us go back to the point. Go back to the diagram again. Now you can see that, let me remove this curly bracket again. Okay, Yes. Now you can see that this is a straight line, fine. And when it is a straight line, you can just listen to me careful. So a dash p is definitely a straight line to be minimum. Thus the points a, the points a, the point a dash, the point p, and the point b will definitely lie in the same plan. Okay, just think about it. If this whole all the points are straight line, means they are in the same plan. And again, this is a normal, okay, so drawn on the same this plan. So this is a dash. So what happens according to that? A dash, p, b, all of are lying in the same plane. So let me remove some of the unwanted parts so that I can explain it near the diagram only. I will again explain. Okay, so this is our a dash, this is a, coming like that. Okay, so that means when a dash pb is a straight line, obviously a, p and b, all of them are in the same plane. Okay, same plane. Okay, so therefore since a and a dash are the part of the same perpendicular, so all these 4 points a dash, p and b, they all are lying in the same plane. Okay, so that is the conception. So that means that means what happens if we draw a normal. Okay, now if I want to draw a normal, and the normal is drawn at the point p, okay, and the normal I am naming it ps. Okay, if we draw a normal at p, then what will happen? The normal will also lie in the same plane. Okay, so the normal will also lie in the same plane. Okay, so that means the first law of reflection is achieved. What is that first law of reflection? It says that the incident ray, that is AP, the reflected ray, that means PB, and the normal drawn at the point of incident, that means SP, all of them lie in the same plane. Okay, now next thing is that we need to consider a few geometrical modifications. Okay, so for that we need to take the help of the diagram again. So I am trying to remove some of the unwanted parts, so just be patient with me. So okay, so if you take any other point nearby, suppose q, if you take q, definitely a dash q b, it is not going to be a straight line. Okay, so it is not at all the minimum path that you can have. The minimum path that you can have is that path which can provide you a straight line. Now next thing is that we need to prove that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. That is the law of reflection. Now if I consider the point P, then what happens? This is the angle and this is the angle. This is the angle of incidence, this is the angle of reflection. So we need to prove that angle APS is equal to angle BPS. Okay, we need to prove that. Okay, so how to do that? For that we will be considering simple facts. Now if you consider just consider the line A dash and SP. Okay, so is it A dash is parallel to SP? Okay, so from that point of view, can we write angle A dash B, angle A dash B is equal to angle SPB, angle SPB? Can we write them to be equal? Because A dash and because A dash and SP, they are parallel to each other. I hope you agree with that. These are simple geometry that we have studied in our 10th level. Next thing is that can you see that we again have the same thing. AR is parallel to SP. Okay, AR is parallel to SP. This is R. Okay, so can we consider as alternate angle? So this is cutting this two parallels, joining the two parallels. So can we write angle RAP? That means this one, angle RAP to be equal to angle APS. Can we consider APS? They are alternate angles, isn't it? So you just, from these two things we have obtained this. Again, let me try to do it again. From triangle RAP and triangle A dash RP. So you can see that this is an isosceles triangle because these two sides are what? Equal. If these two sides are equal, these two angles are also equal. So if these two sides are equal, then what we can write? Angle RAP is equal to angle A dash P. Okay, so look at this thing, two things. So we have RAP is equal to A dash P. So A dash, so this A dash B, you can see here, this A dash B is nothing but A dash P. Just be careful. So this is nothing but A dash P. So we have these two equal, isn't it? So what do we get? What do we get? That angle SPB is equal to angle RAP. Alright. So angle SPB is nothing but angle R, and angle RAP from here you can see that RAP is nothing but angle APS. Okay, so APS is nothing but angle I. So in place of angle APS, what I can say, write angle I. So that means angle of incidence is equal to, so it proves that angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So with that we have proven two laws of reflection. First law is that the incident ray, reflected ray and the normal drawn at the point of incidence lie in the same plane, and angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection.